All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's meeting. We're just going to have a few quick proclamations before we begin. Okay, good evening, everybody. Again, welcome to tonight's meeting. Today, as a council, we're taking the opportunity of the community to celebrate Black History Month. As you know, February is nationally and internationally celebrated as Black History Month. Black History Month is the annual celebration of the achievements of African Americans, and at a time to recognize the central role that African Americans have played in our community and our nation. Tonight, we're honoring a number of community members who have really impacted on a number of different levels, all different parts of our community. Each of us has actually, Councilwoman Moore and I have a few proclamations, and we're going to go through them together. And it's an opportunity for us to acknowledge and honor those folks who have dedicated their careers to serving our community as a whole, whether it be as a member of the workforce or as a member of the clergy as well. So with that, we will begin. Pastor Moses, if I can call you up. So on behalf of the City Council, we're going to present you with this proclamation in honor of your service to the community. I'm just going to read through the proclamation. Whereas the City of Long Beach wishes to recognize Black History Month in honor of the countless accomplishments and contributions of African Americans to our nation and our city. And whereas the City of Long Beach does desire to publicly acknowledge Mark Moses, pastor of the New Life Church of Christ, a beloved and respected member of our community. And whereas Pastor Moses has played an instrumental role in opening and administering the new Bread of Life food pantry in January 2012. Since October 2012, when the New Life Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ, began to receive grant funds from the Long Island Cares and the Harriet Chapman Food Bank, the church has been able to supply thousands of individuals in the local community with food. Now and therefore, the City Council, the acting city manager, and the City of Long Beach, in recognition of his exemplary service to the community, proudly presents this proclamation to you, Pastor Martin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Councilwoman Diamond. At this time, I'm asked that you would join me in welcoming to the front here Greg Scott, a man who has tirelessly served the Long Beach community. And I'd like to read the proclamation on your behalf. Whereas the City of Long Beach wishes to recognize Black History Month in honor of the countless accomplishments and contributions of African Americans to our nation and our city. And whereas the City of Long Beach does desire to publicly acknowledge Greg Scott, Superintendent of Street Maintenance for the City of Long Beach, in recognition of his 37 years of service to residents and the community as a whole. Worthy of applause. And whereas Greg has worked for the city since 1983, where he has held positions of Assistant Superintendent of Highway and Superintendent of Sanitation. And whereas Greg is currently Superintendent of Highway, a position he has held since 2013. And now, therefore, the City Council and the City Manager and the City of Long Beach, in recognition of his exemplary service to the community, proudly present this proclamation to Greg Scott. Congratulations.
It is my pleasure now to call call upon a very dear friend to so many in this room, as well as the members of the council, and that is Norman Wilson. Okay, whereas, and I'm going to present this proclamation, whereas the city of Long Beach wishes to recognize Black History Month in honor of the countless accomplishments and contributions of African Americans to our nation and city, and whereas the city of Long Beach does desire to publicly acknowledge Norman Wilson as Assistant Supervisor of Street Maintenance for the city of Long Beach and the Executive Vice President of the Long Beach CSEA. Whereas Norman's been employed by the city of Long Beach for 10 years. He started out as a laborer and worked his way to assistant superintendent. Norman's also been a full-time union employee for 8 years, starting as a shop steward and later becoming the first African-American executive vice president for the Long Beach CSEA. Whereas the CSEA's political action chairman, Norman is also known as That's a great name. In addition, Norman is very active in the community with strong ties to various local organizations as well. Now and therefore, the City Council and the City Manager of the City of Long Beach, in recognition of his exemplary service to the community, proudly present this proclamation to you, Norman Wilson.
All right, and at this time, I am pleased to ask someone who is always serving, and she serves with a smile. Please put your hands together and celebrate Amanda Hall. Amanda, whereas the city of Long Beach wishes to recognize Black History Month in honor of the countless accomplishments and contributions of African Americans to our nation and our city, and whereas the city of Long Beach does desire to publicly acknowledge Amanda Hall, licensing clerk of the city of Long Beach, in honor of her diligent and extensive service to the residents and city of Long Beach since 1986, where she began working as a youth counselor for youth and family services in the after-school program. And whereas she worked up the ranks in various roles in the after-school and summer camp program as a teacher's assistant in the school district, and as a head teacher and child care director at the Magnolia Child Care Center. After, many of you may or may not know that after Superstorm Sandy, the Child Care Center was temporarily closed. And Amanda began working in City Hall, answering the switchboard calls and floating as needed to various departments. And whereas Amanda is currently on the front line in the city clerk's office, always greeting everyone with a smile, and is a favorite among the residents and the staff alike. And now and therefore, the City Council and the City Manager of the City of Long Beach, in recognition of her exemplary service to the community, proudly present this proclamation to Amanda Hall. Congratulations.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Congratulations.
Good evening, and welcome to the regular meeting of the council of the city of Long Beach, held Tuesday, February 19th, 2019, at 7 p.m. On a roll call, Councilmember Mandel.
Present.
Councilmember Mandel. Councilmember Moore.
Present.
Vice President Diamond.
Here.
President Romano is absent. Let the record indicate the presence of acting city manager Robert Agostisi and assistant corporation counsel Gregory Kaminski. Without a salute to the flag.
I would ask our new acting city manager to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask for the acting city manager's update.
All right. In the past few days, the city received positive press regarding the Edwards Boulevard reconstruction project and the associated public outreach sessions in both Newsday and the Long Island Herald. Find more details about the project at longbeachny.gov/publicworks. The city would like to thank everyone who attended Senior Sweethearts Day at the MLK Center on Valentine's Day. This event was the first of 4 seasonal luncheons happening throughout 2019. We would like to sincerely thank our partners at Long Beach Chamber of Commerce, MLK Incorporated, Pure Shore Kitchen, and Keep Food East for sponsoring this event and providing lunch and dessert for 70 senior citizens. Resident parking permits are on sale. Permits may be purchased at the clerk's office, Route 307 in City Hall, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or by mail. For more information, visit longbeachny.gov/cityclerk. In conjunction with the Long Island Village Clerks and Treasurers Association, the Office of the City Clerk in the City of Long Beach is participating in the Island Harvest Food Drive. The city will be accepting donations through Wednesday, March 8th, in the City Clerk's office on the 3rd floor of City Hall. Additionally, a monetary donation can be made at fooddriveonline.org/islandharvest in lieu of donating food. As you entered the City Hall lobby, you may have noticed the LBNY Arts Council's Art in the Lobby Showcase Series. Initial works were provided by some of the council's board members, so the board is currently seeking additional artwork to display at the showcase. If you or someone you know may be interested in providing artwork, please find flyers with more information provided in the council room. Lastly, the Arts Council will be hosting a meet and greet with the associated choreographer and global dance supervisor for Hamilton on Broadway, Stephanie Clemens, at the library on March 7th at 7:30 p.m. Flyers provided at the front of the room.
On to the meeting.
The first public hearing tonight is for an ordinance to amend the code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach for housing and property rehabilitation, conservation code, and mortgage and default registry.
Right, Kaminski, we're going to give us some information on this.
Okay, after the city council enacted the mortgage and default law, I think the meeting subsequent to that, we awarded the contract to a vendor called ProChamps. And after extended negotiations with the vendor, we were trying to get the best deal possible for the city. And my opinion was that if we're paying anything more than 20% to collect the fees, that we're paying too much. So after extensive talks with ProChamps, we had decided if we change it to an annual collection instead of a semi-annual collection, it would result in a net savings of $100 for the city because the annual fee is $500. ProChamps charges per collection, and if it's collected semi-annually, that means they would collect $250 and keep $100 and do that twice a year for each property that's on the mortgage and default registry. By making this one simple change and striking out semi, we get $100 more per collection. And this is really, the result of an extended impasse, and it's on their side too, because we, after trying to get them to lower their price, they're like, operationally, we can't do that. And just in case the council has any questions, I have Mr. Scott Blasey here from ProChamps, who is in a better position to answer any operational questions on their end, if you have them. But that's basically it in a nutshell. By getting rid of the word semi, we have a tremendous savings as far as the collection fees go.
And just for clarification purposes, the savings is on each time the money is collected, correct?
Yes, Pro Champs charges per collection. They don't charge a percentage of the money that they collect. So if there are 2 collections, they charge $100 per collection. This way, they only do 1 collection per year, and they charge $100 for it instead of collecting $200 the way our statute was initially written.
But there are no additional changes to the item that was passed.
There are absolutely no changes other than striking the word semi where it says semi-annual.
Are there any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? No questions? Close the hearing.
To the regular calendar, item 1 is the ordinance to amend code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach regarding housing and property rehabilitation and conservation code, mortgage and default registry, hearings are covered on this item already. Item 2 is a resolution fixing and providing for the 2019 season of the Ocean Beach Park.
Any questions from the public on item number 2, or the council on item number 2? And this is an annual item that we pass every year. Any questions from the public on item number 2? Mr. State name and address for the record.
Catherine O'Leary, Long Beach, New York. I have a question. These dates where the beach park is open, from June 1 to June 23rd, is when school is in session. And with 1 or 2 exceptions, every year for the last quarter of a century, some kids have come in from the city and drowned during these days on Long Beach. So I guess my question is, what is the plan for the weekdays when the kids do cut school without the knowledge of their parents? Don't understand Long Beach is drowned. Is there a stepped up police presence? Is there a skeleton lifeguard crew around?
So it's my understanding, every year we post, or at least I can speak for the last 2 years, there are postings to remind folks not to swim and we can enjoy the beach, but that the water is actually closed. We also have, in my discussion with Chief Gillespie, there's also a road crew, so there are lifeguards that are on duty during that period of time, but for a variety of reasons, which we can get into now, the city doesn't have the ability in order to do that. It's my understanding, based on my discussions with, again, Chief Gillespie, as well as some of the other lifeguards, that the staffing issues, a lot of our staff are either college students or away at school or some school personnel in a variety of different positions that are not available until after school is actually out of session, which would be closer to the end of June. And the same goes for the period of time in September, because I think that's a concern. And that was something that was raised by a number of the council members, is whether we could extend the season and whether that was practical. And it's my understanding that based upon those discussions, that would be not something that we can staff the entire beach during those, I don't want to call them off season, but during when it's not the summer months, when school is in session for our college students, as well as for our school personnel who during the summer serve as lifeguards and beach personnel.
Well, I just wonder if the wages were raised for lifeguards, if we could depend on not student workers, but professional people, and possibly retired lifeguards. I think the wage is pretty darn low, and usually college kids work for low wages. And we're not talking about a preference here, we're talking about life and death. So I think it might be worthwhile for the city to up the coverage with professional people. These kids who cut a school.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I have to say, not calling our lifeguards not professional people is extraordinarily disrespectful to lifeguards.
I didn't even hear myself say that. But what I was gonna say is, what was it? Yeah, excuse me. Nobody's reading those signs. If kids are coming and cutting schools, nobody's reading those signs.
Okay.
Can Vice President Diamond, I just want to address one issue in terms of community partnership. That's the only thing I can speak to.
Unfortunately, the last year, the young boy who unfortunately we were searching for many, many days. And so during that period of time, I had the ability to really have conversations with the Village of Hempstead, and we talked with members, the community leaders there. And so this year, we'll be in Hempstead having conversations with them. They want to partner with us so that we can get the information out to the parents, to the grandparents that live in the community, so that they can understand that when you're coming here and you're taking a visit to Long Beach, this is the ocean and you have to respect it. And that will be taking place before this season.
That would be a help in this, but these.
It's a small help, but I just want to let you know that,
Ladies in Brooklyn is really coming.
I know, that too.
Yeah, Ms. O'Leary, one other thing is, while the beach isn't fully staffed, there is a response team of lifeguards that are available during the week to respond to calls, but they're not manning every beach. You know, so if a call comes in, there are trained people to respond. They're just not spread across the 2.2 miles.
I understand that, but being here 25 years and listening to the heartbreak every year, practically, it's an issue that we keep pushing aside, and kids are dying. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Lehman.
Allison Blanchett, Long Beach. I want to piggyback a little bit on what Ms. O'Leary was talking about, because it seems like every year these questions do come up. When we have heat waves, why can't the lifeguards be on later in September after Labor Day? Why aren't there still lifeguards on when people from out of town? So it's not just out of towners, but it's locals too. I admit it. On the water, there's no lifeguards. So I understand that it could be a cost issue, a staffing issue, and possibly a liability issue. Having only 1 or 2 beaches open with lifeguards past, the 6 o'clock hour or past the dates that are listed here. I'm wondering if someone would be able to explain, is it a liability issue just having 1 or 2 beaches open? And also, why are beaches closed at 6 p.m.? Is that also a staffing issue or a cost type of thing? I know it's really nice for people who are unable to pay to get onto the beach because we do charge far too much to get onto our beautiful beaches. So it's nice to see what families can go on after 6. But I'm curious if you had ever done any kind of cost analysis on, maybe charging later or leaving lifeguards on later. I think what I'm really wondering about is in September, because we do have a lot more people on the beaches. In September is the best month of the year to be on our beaches. So would you be, someone up here be able to talk about liability? And then my other thing I just want to bring up is, I don't know if it was last year or the previous year, but I vaguely remember our beach passes were late or something, not late, but there was something, does anyone remember? You voted on very last minute, it was a very last minute thing, so you kind of had to pass it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Does anyone remember this? What?
Ms. Blanchett.
Anyways, so that is, so I just wanted to remind you to get those cards in order, just a quick reminder. Well, it is on subject, thank you. Oh, any answers on the
No,
liability?
that's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit.
Well, I'll take with it, Greg, and talk about the 6 p.m. issue, because I believe there are some contractual implications with respect to that.
Okay.
However, the idea that you just brought up as far as minimal staffing on 1 or 2 beaches is something that we actually have discussed. We will be looking at the feasibility of that. There are liability issues connected, however, and it's what you have to do is find a way with, to basically coordinate these people into 1 or 2 beaches, maybe that were international. And while that may work in state parks like Jones Beach, we have a 2.2, we have 4 blocks basically, 2.2 mile stretch. So there are ramifications associated with that in terms of liability. But we are looking into that operationally and financially for those beach activities related to September.
And you're correct, these questions are asked every year, and a lot of it has to do with lifeguard operations. I have the chief of lifeguards here, I can explain it, but, you have the chief of the professional lifeguards back there. So, chief, if you could just come up briefly, just to explain, the troubles towards the end of the season and in September that you have to secure 2.2 miles of beach. Thanks, chief.
Well, what it is for the late beachgoers is that these cars have been on the beach all day, and usually what we do is we put like Mr. Bendo said there, we put an emergency response team that we have of about 15 guards that go east and west and tell people to get out of the water. We do make saves at that time. These guys for the past 13 years have pulled in quite a number of people. The end of in September, when the weather is nice, there's no lifeguards left on the beach. That's the problem. You're dealing with all college kids that go back. We do have a small group that we keep for the emergency response team. The guards, how would I put this? We, as a lifeguard staff, would love to be, if we had more lifeguards, but as it is, if you look around the municipalities, staffing your beaches are very difficult. Because if you look at Glen Cove for this matter, they called us last year looking for lifeguards. Of course, we have our problem staffing lifeguards.
So Chief, to my understanding, in August, a lot of kids go back to college. Come September, a lot of the lifeguards are also teachers. They have to go back to school to teach, right?
All our supervisors are school teachers, which is great for the beach because they deal with kids all year. And we are professional lifeguards. This is not a bunch of people that just got together and ran on the beach and tried to save people. We do have different things that we train all the time with.
And Chief Gillespie, I just wanted to point out, dovetailing on that, every time one of your guards goes in, their health and safety is at risk as well.
Absolutely. We do have a great system. For the past 13 years, when our lifeguards are on duty, we have lost no one. And that's the main thing. I realize that there are times when there are people coming on the beach. We don't have enough guards, like I said, at the end of the season in September. So that's why we have to go to that emergency response team, which has been very effective. We also started that about 13 years ago, and the kids have been doing a great job. I say kids, I should say lifeguards do a great job. Any other questions we have out there?
How many saves did the emergency response team make in the last 13 years?
I would say around 200. Pulling the people out of the water. Yes, and we do, again, tell people that they cannot go in the water. Major thing, it's an easy access beach. Town of Hempstead has the same problem as we do, but they can close their gates a little earlier than we can. And so does Jones Beach. Jones Beach has the same problem of people coming down at all hours off season. In September, even in May. May is a big problem for us too in June. So we try our best, and so far we've done pretty good, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for your service. I think I'll be showing Councilwoman Moore, maybe our acting city manager can begin to prepare the postings and some of the notices that we give out, whether it be at the train station for folks who are visiting and have those flyers around a little bit earlier so that we can start the education process a little bit quicker. Absolutely. Including it in our buses. Mr. Levitch?
Mary Barbara Savage, Long Beach. I believe that there was a film made about water safety. Ms. Moore, if you want to take that to Hempstead, perhaps and share it. I would just like to say, Mr. Gillespie is fantastic. He lifeguarded with my husband 40 plus years ago. as a mother of 2 lifeguards and the wife of a lifeguard, retired. I have to say, Long Beach has that junior lifeguard program where many of our lifeguards from the age of 10 years old have been trained in life saving. People that don't want to adhere to the rules, it is very sad, but sometimes you're going to lose them. I think our lifeguards are very professional, and unbeknownst to many of you, they go around the country in August, and there is a lifeguard competition against California, Hawaii, Texas, Florida, all of the United States, and they're always in the top 5 to 10. And they use their skills, and they use their skills every single day. And as a mother who watched children come home, not even eat their dinner, and go look for someone who didn't adhere to the rules, it's very traumatizing for them also. But they go back the next day and do their job. So to call them unprofessional is really very offensive.
I just will echo what you said. I don't think there's anyone on the council who would disagree that our lifeguard staff, our supervisors, our chief run a professional and wonderful beach for the summer. And so many of our residents as well as visitors enjoy it each year. And we thank each of them for their time and service and going the extra mile to ensure that takes place for everybody who chooses to use our beach. Any other questions from the public?
Okay, so item 1 is the ordinance to amend the code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach regarding housing, property rehabilitation, and conservation code, mortgage, and default registry.
Introduce move the adoption of this item.
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Vice President Bennett.
Yes.
Item number 2 is a resolution fixing and providing for the 2019 season of the Ocean Beach Park.
Introduce move the adoption of this item.
I will.
Second. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Vice President Bennett.
Yes.
You make a motion to close the meeting.
I will.
Second. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Vice President Bennett.
Yes. Okay, as we move to good welfare, there's 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. I will ask Kathy O'Leary.
Kathy O'Leary, Long Beach. I would like to speak about the city manager situation. Although I haven't been here for a few weeks, I have been following it. I was at previous meetings where residents expressed their displeasure at having corporate counsel, is that right, as ADC appointed as an interim city manager. It seems to me that there was a backroom door, backroom deal made to appoint an acting city manager. I think it was disgraceful, okay? In the paper, it's saying that you're hiring a group to look for a city manager. At the same time, you're saying that Mr. Anastasi will be acting city manager for a year. It seems as if the city is talking out of both sides of its mouth. What I had asked before, I'm going to ask again, this time I want an answer at the next meeting, is that if we don't have a permanent city manager by the end of March, I would like to change the charter and hold an election for a city manager who is elected by the people, not chosen by the city council. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe Jack Schneerman took the money, extra money that he took on the advice of Mr. Agostisi. That's one thing that doesn't sit well with me. And I don't think we will ever get to the bottom of it, since we are having, a friend of his investigate these payouts. So, whenever you get answers to these things, I don't know if it's the next meeting, at the beginning of the next meeting, or during the good and welfare, I would like an answer. And what I've noticed is, just as we did today, we amended the code of ordinances for the city of Long Beach, because it brings in money for the city. Every time a resident brings up something like I'm bringing up, it's always a great big deal. It's really not a great big deal. The city can do it when it serves itself. And it wouldn't take that much to change it to have an election. So by the end of March, I would like to have a decision. And if the answer is no, I'd like to hear some real good reasons for it.
Thank you, Ms. Lewin. Ronald Paganini.
Ron Paganini, City of Long Beach. Evening, City Council, and new City Manager Rob Agostisi. Mr. Manager, at the last City Council meeting, Mr. Ramo basically had told me that the bus fleet has never failed any kind of inspection. There was no theft of service by the out-of-control boss mechanic who hasn't signed in or out for 4 years. But now signs in and out for the last couple of weeks. Now, I have a copy of a sign-up sheet that was being used prior to the new sign-up sheet that he signs in at present. I will give it to you, to the council and city manager when I'm done. Okay. Also, Mr. Agostisi, I called the city last week for a copy of the last notice of failure for the buses on the federal safety law. Just to let you know, it's up there somewhere. Finally, I'm asking you to do a full investigation of the city garage for the past 6 years. And, I know Mr. Agostisi, as the head of the council, your core council, stuff like that, you know what's going on, you've heard my speech, I'm here since November. And, I'm just gonna make a short thing of this right now, because you know it's not. So now, I'm asking you to do a full investigation of the city garage for the past 6 years. They're found guilty of insubordination, incompetency, and theft of service. The out-of-control boss should be basically terminated. Also, Mr. Robinson, he supervised the whole mess. Also, this is the last question. Also, what is Mr. Robinson's present title? This is an easy one. Deputy City Manager, Director of Transportation, or Director of Operation. Thank you very much. This is the shortest speech I ever made. And here's the copies of the sign-up sheet that I think everybody should look at. And I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Preston?
I'll pass, thank you.
Vincent Lee?
Good evening, everyone. This is Lee, 418 East Hudson Street, Long Beach, New York, 11561. Quick questions. One, I know President Rama wasn't here. He was going to get back to me about Chairman's qualifications to be head of PR or something, but I noticed Mr. Tepper is back in the employment of the city of Long Beach. So I was just wondering if there was a job posting for the position he walked back into, and where was that job posting and how much was it for? Was it fully publicized to the public?
there was no job posting. I hired Mr. Pepperback. It's an exempt position in the city manager's office. It's going to be a blend of communications and policy formulation, which, as I've learned over the years, are not two separate disciplines, but really one and the same, because there is no policy unless you can communicate it, and vice versa. But exempt, you're not required to post under civil service law or the collective bargaining agreement for exempt positions. If it's not posted, Gordon has a very unique skill set and is very accomplished in his field. He is going to be handling additional responsibilities. And with respect to Ryan McTiernan, we're going to be able to relieve him of certain responsibilities, or at least minimize them, because Ryan has done exactly what we've asked him to do over the last few months. He's expanded his role to not only include communications, but especially the public outreach component of public relations. That's where we've asked him to focus, and that's where he has focused. He's also handling some functions attendant to his position, his old position in the city manager's office. So with that, we expect that Gordon will help alleviate some of the burden that's fallen on Ryan to handle all those functions, in addition to Gordon taking on some additional roles as well. And we're excited to have him back, and very lucky to as well.
It's very lucky. Like, I also hold a communication arts degree, as a communications degree, master's degree. I actually teach video production and run a television studio too. So the skill sets you're talking about, I probably have it as well. But the other one is if McTiernan's gonna help keep helping, Tepper's back, what are we doing with the PR firm now?
Well, right now, the PR firm, if the council is interested, would have to come on for a city council resolution. I don't have any indication that that's going to be happening at this time. And that's really all I can say about it.
All right, so the service is gonna be not needed from March 1st then?
It's not my decision right now, but that's what I suspect.
Okay, because before you weren't here for the prior meeting, nobody seemed to understand like how long the service was going to be for, what service they were providing, for how much, when this all began. So, you weren't here, so, you're just contradicting what some council members.
I'm not sure you're right. I don't
No,
know.
no.
So this, I can't tell you that what Mr. Shapiro was handling was mostly media relations, which is a distinct component of the PR function. It's just one slice of that.
And I got a couple more minutes, or another minute, because you talked after me.
Your time is up, sir.
My time's up.
Your time is
Can
up.
I ask two more things, real quick? One,
Your time's up.
No, it's not,
there's 3 minutes of uninterrupted.
3 minutes of.
uninterrupted.
Your time's up. Your time's up.
Thank
He
you.
didn't have the opportunity to complete his question. He wasn't interrupted.
It's not
His questions were answered. He asked a question and they were answered. He did not indicate that he was at the end of his question. The next speaker is Mr. Dean. Mr. Dean, are you
No.
Yes.
John Dean, Long Beach. In another month, it'll be a year since I've been bringing this question before the board, council, the manager, and the traffic department, meeting about this. And essentially, there's been zero response to my concern about the health and welfare and safety of the residents of the west end of Long Beach, from West Park Avenue, from New York Avenue to the bottom. Lack of traffic control, lack of speed limit control, lack of sufficient signage to say, New York State law, do not block intersection. New York State law, yield to pedestrian. This is a residential area. This is not a traffic area. I do understand that people that do not live in Long Beach use this as a place to drive through to go to work, making it much more difficult for the people that live here to actually cross the street, make turns from the streets that they live on, exit their driveways. There's been significant accidents, especially in the Wyoming corner. We need to slow down the traffic. We need to control the traffic. The police need to enforce the speed limits. We need signs. I'm asking at the very least, I've asked this for a year now. Signs to be put up on the street. Yield to pedestrians, New York State law, on the street. Do not block intersection. I'm asking also that they be written in, I've seen this in many places, to write it in the intersection so that people slow down. So they'll read it. I've said this before. I'm going to come back here until maybe somebody listens.
Before you leave, Mr. Dean, it was my understanding that a study has to be done before we can move forward with the production of signs. It's my understanding also, because I actually met with you, I stood on that corner along with several other people, Ms. Blanchett, Legislator Ford, and Legislator Ford and I are currently serving on Nassau County Commissioner Ryder's Community Council, and that information went there as well. You've shared it here, and the study takes time to do, so we ask that you would be patient with us. It's not really the city of Long Beach at this time conducting a study, but there has to be a study done so that they can really make the right decision with respect to the need for a sign.
Right, I understand that the installation of stop signs and or traffic lights control the flow. That's, the installation of that, I understand, cannot be done unless this study is made. But the installation of signs such as yield to the pedestrian and do not block the intersection are not, in essence, traffic control, although they do remind people of the laws that they're supposed to obey when they're driving a car in a public arena, such as West Park. It's you talk about not wanting a stop sign when there's a traffic light, but you have stop signs and traffic lights on West Park, East Park.
Mr.
Not
Peters.
on Beach Street. You have it on, you have it on New York Avenue has a stop sign and it has two traffic lights. So there's contradictory information being given. And I understand that, and I am waiting for the true stop signs and or lights to be installed.
Mr. Peters, I just want to, just for clarification purposes, because you said that when you were here, nothing had been done. As a council, we had asked, and I believe one of the times that you were here, Legislator Ford was here as well, and we as a council sent her a letter requesting that that study be held and take place. But I think that it's most appropriate, I don't know if our police commissioner wants to weigh in, I think that the most appropriate thing is to ensure that whether we put up a sign, look, I'm not a traffic expert, I don't know that anybody else on the council is, but I think that once we have a study that's done, we can make sure that whatever steps we're taking actually provide safety and doesn't cause some other type of traffic
I
issue.
understand what you're saying. However, in the interest of their own design, certain restrictive no parking signs were put up along the north side of the West Park, which took away parking from people that live there. At a time when parking is becoming more and more premium, I think, because of that construction. Now, those signs should be put up.
Actually, I'm gonna
Those
interrupt
signs
you.
should be put up.
I'm gonna interrupt you because your time is up,
All
but
right,
we
I
have the
understand.
information.
I'm responding to your question, your statement. All right, I'm not adding, I'm responding to what you just said. Those signs should be put up in the interest of controlling traffic or some sort of visibility than signs like yield pedestrian and do not block intersection can also be put up without waiting for a study to be made.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gosler?
Yeah, hi, good evening, Jay Gosler, Long Beach. Just want to say that I was here a few weeks ago at Mr. Actisi's coronation ceremony, and he, in his, for lack of a better term, acceptance speech, basically said he was gonna change minds. He asked people to, take a fresh view of him as city manager. And the first thing he did as the new city manager was hire Gordon Tech. Now, the prior city manager was wearing both the acting city manager and police commissioner hats, and somehow he was able to manage the duties of both of those agencies without hiring an executive assistant. So I'm wondering what has changed, if anything, that necessitates the addition of another layer of personnel in the city manager. Do me a favor, don't answer, wait till I'm done. The other thing is, I'm wondering about the salary that's being paid to Mr. Tepper. Another thing I grabbed onto from Mr. Agostini's acceptance speech was that he said he was privy to discussions about the language concerning the residency requirement for city manager and its inapplicability to somebody who is serving as an acting city manager. I want to know if Mr. Agostini had any notes or anything else that he might be able to point to that would document his involvement with those discussions. And the reason I'm asking that is because I had a conversation with a council person who was a direct participant in those discussions. And according to that council person, there was absolutely no discussion whatsoever of the applicability of the acting term to the residency requirement imposed upon a city manager or city manager candidate. The other thing I wanted to ask about was the resolution that was removed from the agenda last meeting requiring 3 members to get an item on the agenda. I want to know who was responsible for that item. I want to know how it came about. I want to know why it came about. And I'd like to know whether or not Mr. Agostini had any involvement in that item coming to exist. I also want to know, has the city gotten the results of the Director of Operations test? Has the city prepared a ranking from, or an eligible list from that test? And has there been a hire made? I'd like to know whether or not Todd Shapiro still works for the city, how much we paid him for his services to date, what projects, if any, has he worked on? I would note that Ms. Diamond said that his firm was being hired on a trial basis. I'm aware that they were hired last November of 2018, and to the best of my knowledge, they're still in the employ of the city. Mr. Agostini, when during his comments in response to Ms. Lee's comments, said that it's not his decision, but I've seen the contract. The contract was signed by the acting city manager, so it's not Mr. Agostini's decision.
Mr. Gosselin, your time is up.
I'm sorry?
Your time is up.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, but I'd like to have at least one of those questions answered. I'd like to know myself, who introduced that resolution that was placed on the floor and who removed it?
Well, the resolution was placed on the floor, it was placed on the agenda. And it's my understanding that a number was reached out with concerns regarding the item, and then it was removed. I don't,
Can
I
you
don't know
identify?
about item number 8.
Yes, yes. Can you identify who decided to have that placed on the item agenda?
I cannot, it's the city manager's agenda, so if it doesn't have.
Nothing gets on the agenda.
Talk to the public.
No, I didn't. That is the answer. It's the city manager. You already answered. It's the city manager.
They can't hear you.
It's the city manager's agenda, just as this is now.
Okay, so then who had it removed?
That I couldn't say. I believe it was a collective decision, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was my understanding that a number was raised concerns about the item, including myself, and it was.
I can tell you, I'm sorry. I received the communication. First off, I didn't have anything to do with it being put on the agenda, but I received the communication from Councilman Vendo, who raised concerns about it. When I got that communication, I reached out to President Ramos. I believe there were discussions had, and based upon that, from what I was told, the general opinion was that resolution wasn't right and needed to be discussed internally before it went public.
Thank you. Ms. Olszewicz?
Hi, I'm Mayor Dalsevich, Walnut still. I have a question. Does Mr. Tucker, is Mr. Tucker's position, is that in your budget? Was that in your budget? I mean, because didn't Mr. Ryan McTiernan take that over? We're doubling up, it seems to
No,
be.
there's no doubling. It's in the budget. It's actually Mr. McKinnon's old position, civil service title. And the city manager's line is about 4% of the way through its budget because Commissioner Taggy never collected the city manager's salary, and also the secretary of the city manager was never replaced. So there's ample funding in that budget code.
But is there a line in the budget for that? That's what I'm basically
Yes,
asking you. With the raise, with the $20,000 raise?
it's in the budget code. That's how it works. The money is in the city manager's
Arbitrarily
budget
made up.
code.
Eddie Verona?
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate all the honorees tonight, thank them for their service to our community. I want to follow up about last city council meeting when I raised that there was no ban on nepotism in our code of ethics, and there was no ban on a supervisor forcing a subordinate to give to a political campaign. And the city manager at the time told me that they would look into it, and so I'm just wondering, what is the status on that? Will the council commit to amending the code of ethics? Board of ethics as well, since we don't even have a board to handle ethical concerns. Now, also at the last meeting, I tried asking this question during the bond hearing, though despite being the most important financial indicator, President Aramo deemed my question irrelevant. What is the current fund balance of the city, which is what is our reserves? So those are my questions. And also I wanted to say, at the August 7th meeting, Mr. Agostisi stated, there has been discussion of dissolving the local development corporation. I think we're all in favor of that. And here are some facts about the local development corporation. In 2017, the LDC had $13,000 in legal and accounting fees, but only gave out $1,000 worth of grants. The city ends up paying the $13,000 in legal and accounting fees because the LDC has no permanent streams of revenue. The LDC's board of directors has voted to dissolve the corporation. So clearly, the LDC is costing the city thousands in unnecessary expenses, but does little to benefit the city since they only give out $1,000 in grants. Mr. Agostisi, will you work to eliminate the local development corporation?
Is that those are the end of your comments?
Yes.
It's gonna be we're gonna go one way or the other with the LDC. Either I will be working with them in an effort to try to dissolve and reduce the city's exposure and expenditures, or we're going to try to make something out of that corporation and see where it goes. But I'm now in a different position than I was before, so it's right at the top of my agenda.
Any other items as well?
I think some of the items we have to go back to you on. I know there was some discussions on potential, the discussions were not with me, I was just told to place. The appointments to the Board of Ethics, the new acting city manager who can work on some of those decisions. I think it was a priority for all of us that we ensure that that is up and running. With regard to the reserve fund balance, I don't know that anyone's here with us right now, but we can have that information at the beginning of the next meeting. And with regard to the code of ethics, I don't have an answer for you.
Well, I mean, I look forward last time to listening to the answer to your question, so I asked for you to actually set some time limits for your answers. I asked at the next meeting for us to have some appointments to the Board of Ethics at the next meeting for this question to be answered, and at the next meeting, then Mr. Agostisi have his answer to the local development corporation. Because with our current state, we cannot just sit on our hands. We need actual accountability. We cannot just let the clock run.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Your time is up. Edward Brown?
Good evening. Mr. Agassiz, you talked very clearly about how communication is an important part of this board's function and your ability to do your job. last meeting here, it seemed like a very positive development happened as far as refinancing to the debt. However, it was so poorly explained and still so unclear of what is happening. Somebody who actually knows what's going on. Seems like, we don't know, because there was 3 paragraphs written that 5-year-old kind of wrote. And what was publicly put on the website was legalese. There's $12 million being refinanced. I guess a simple question, how much did it cost to refinance? It's 14 pages of present value tables. It appeared to be $150,000, which seems reasonable, given that there's possibly $800,000 in interest savings. Seems like you guys should be celebrating that and publishing it all over the place. You should talk about what was redeemed, what is the possible ramifications of it. You can talk about the duration, meaning these bonds are going to be paid out at the same duration, they're going to mature at the same time. Did anybody talk about shortening? Did anybody talk about longing, making the bonds longer? So we have even more cash flow savings, considering our cash flows here. Did anybody talk about the other bonds that we have? We got millions and millions of dollars in bonds, and you have 3 paragraphs, which are unclear. So communication is really important. And the last sentence on the public website said, if you want to really look at it, come to the office, we'll show you. That doesn't seem like it's something that you guys really want to tell. And this is something good. So everybody's very skeptical. Yes. Like it's a very good thing. Why didn't we talk about it? Got a lot of bad news. So my point of the whole thing is, you get to be a lot more clearer and transparent in what you're doing. Then you get the trust of the people. And you get the trust of the people. Everybody will work with you, help you, not have that. And if you need some help, yes, I'll be able to help. Other people will be able to help. Just try to be transparent.
I'd like to say that a lot of information was provided to the city council when we were really in the thick of the decision about whether or not to refi. Now, that information, I wasn't at the last meeting, that information may or may not have been effectively conveyed. We brought in our financial consultant, former controller.
I couldn't answer that basic question. How much was
I
it
just
cost?
want to. Sure. I just wanted to, if that wasn't confirmed, and if that wasn't conveyed effectively, I agree with you, then we should do something to disseminate that information in a manner which really boils it down to its basics. So I agree with you, and perhaps we can do that.
Okay, and I think on not just that issue, but every other issue. Okay, it's better to disclose more than less. And, but this is big money, really big money. So
Absolutely.
we're not talking a few $1,000s here. Big time.
No, we consider it major figure, and we should be promoting. I agree.
And Ms. Moore did say that after I asked my questions, that there was this sense of discussions, but behind closed doors, not out here, where everybody knew what was going on.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Blanchett?
Allison Blanchett, Palm Beach. This is a good segue. So today, the Town of Hempstead Supervisor unveiled the town's first ever interactive open government webpage that places hundreds of previously vaulted contracts and other government documents at the fingertips of the public. 3 weeks ago, the Nassau County Comptroller, who I believe you're all familiar with, unveiled a cloud-based transparency and open records web platform, which allows the public to track spending by department, vendor, expense categories. It's an online checkbook and open data system. It's a massive leap towards a more transparent, efficient, and user-friendly government. I've talked about this in the past, and I just want to bring this up again now. It would be wonderful to have an open data an online checkbook for Long Beach. You know, an online portal would hold all sorts of public information that's realistic and necessary change, and a necessary change from our current wonky website and burdensome access to information via FOIL. Residents or our journalists there could access data, and we can also track how our tax dollars are spent. This is a really great way of restoring public trust as well. So I'm just gonna throw that at you. As far as Mr. Dean, we did meet with him and his issues are valid. I'd like everyone up here, and I've said this before, just Google tactical urbanism. Same thing for you, Mr. Dean, tactical urbanism. Signs and markings on the street can be effective for some people some of the time, but good engineering is good for all people all of the time, so it really is an engineering issue. And if a resident feels that he is not being heard when it comes to a transportation issue, well, I certainly know what that feels like. I haven't been heard for many years. Perhaps a public safety or a transportation committee could serve residents well. Now, let's talk about our committees and our boards, shall we? There are currently several committees with appointed members who are not required to meet. They have no city presence, rendering them inefficient and ineffective on meeting the needs of residents. I would really love to see commissions, boards, whatever you call them, look at them again. As Eddie Verona was talking about, the ethics committee is a really great start. Also, East Atlantic Beach is trying to lower their speed limit. Website redesign. Would anyone like to speak about that? I believe everyone knows that our website is not ADA compliant.
Well, why don't we just finish up your comments and then we can answer all of them.
I can't really read my writing, so we'll just end it there. I mean, can
Do you want to respond to this?
Just to the website,
The website?
it is in the state of redesign right now. I've seen it in advance, but we're going to be testing functionality and we're going to be revisiting some of the aesthetics with Long Beach High School, actually. And we're having high school students work with us and help us.
All right, and, well, with that, keep in mind the open data thing as well, because that would also be like an online thing. Also, I kind of like the atmosphere in here. Noreen?
Thank you, Ms. Blanchard.
Noreen? Noreen, reporting on Beach. Ms. Diamond, I'm assuming you're stepping in for Vice President, or for President Arama tonight? Yes, so you didn't address the questions from last week at the beginning of Good and Welfare?
I do not have the answers to those questions, but I'm sure that President Aramo will give them to you when he is back tonight.
So the president is the only one who is privy to any of the
I
residents?
don't have the answers to those questions, I'm sorry.
Okay, noted. So my other question is, Mr. Kalinsky, can you just speak into the microphone a little bit? We find it really difficult to hear you, very soft spoken, which is nice to
I
hear.
apologize because I promise you I don't hear that very often.
Just, we were just talking, we couldn't hear your answers. So I missed a couple of meetings, so I'm a little bit out of the loop with the PR. What's going on, who's working where. So I believe Mr. McTiernan was PR, then we hired a firm. The firm that we hired, I believe, is based in Suffolk. Was there a bid to hire this firm? Even if it was 1 month, 2 months, are we on a month-to-month contract? And was there a reason why we didn't look at any of the local companies? I believe there's 2 PR companies in Long Beach. Is there, who found Mr. Shapiro's company?
You can just go through your comments.
No, that's it.
Those are the questions?
It's professional service. As far as public relations, we did the research on that, and it's professional service that's exempt from the normal procurement rules.
So you reached out to him like you did, or not you personally?
somebody in the city reached out, said we need a PR company, and that's overlook the local companies, or the local companies aren't
Presumably, I was involved in
capable of it?
Presumably, sure.
Okay, and so once, then I know I have 3 minutes left, I know I said that my questions were finished. So once Mr. Shapiro was hired, he was vetted, and his record was looked into, and who vetted him, who would have vetted him, all the council, or whoever does procurement, and who does procurement?
Yes, I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, so I'm sure I'll get them too. Thank you. Any question?
He's based in Nassau.
Eileen Hessian, Long Beach. First, I'm wondering if you know when the zoning board application will be posted? Maybe you can answer that.
The zoning board, what application is referring to?
To be on the zoning board?
There's no vacancy in the zoning board right now.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. The second thing is, Ms. Moore, can you contact Vinnie Lakes about help with STEM?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to talk about Mr. Tepper too. I understand that the city is broke. I would think that there should be a moratorium on hiring, and certainly on hiring patronage, friends and families type jobs. I don't know why we need another person in the PR department, or why we would need another person in the city manager's office. Mr. Tepper, I believe, was making about $90,000 when he left. Somebody said he got a $20,000 raise, which seems like an awful lot of money.
No, you can roll that up.
Oh, what's the amount then?
Oh, 105.
105.
195.
He also got, I think, a $30,000 separation payment, and I'm wondering about those separation payments. I understand there was supposed to be auditing on it. I'm not sure if there are or not, if that's going on. But if you get a separation payment without separating, that's nasty. If you get a separation payment and then you come right back after a couple of months, is that kosher or what? I don't know. Is that fair? Why we need so much help in the PR department, I don't know. I hope it has nothing to do with this being campaign season. And as far as that residence requirement goes, I hope that you don't do anything about that, Mr. Agostisi. I think it's a very important thing. Certainly the mayor of New York would not be living in Connecticut. You know, any leader lives in the place where he leads, because it shows a respect for that area. It shows that he's invested in that area. He believes in that area. He has a reason why he wants to make that area better and more livable for himself, his family, his children, and the residents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. I have two things I want to discuss. The first thing is I agree with, I forget who I agree with right now, actually. The vibe in here is really nice, is what I wanted to say. Forget who said it. So the other thing is the format of good and welfare, just remind me, aren't we supposed to have our 3 minutes uninterrupted and then you guys speak?
I want to clarify something. That's not codified. The word uninterrupted is not in the code. It just simply says 3 minutes. And the view now, as expressed by President Ramos, is that your 3 minutes is exactly that. Whatever you'd like to spend, whether it be a monologue, if that's your preference, or Q&A, it's up to you how you spend your 3 minutes. But you get 3 minutes. The word uninterrupted does not actually appear in the code.
But he just repeats it over and over and over again here, and
It's just
uninterrupted.
I've seen it. It's been going on for administration. But I don't know how it started. It's kind of like urban myth. I don't get it.
Okay.
What's your address?
And all I wanted to just say, it didn't happen this evening. For some people it did, and some people it didn't. Now that you clarified it, now we know. Okay. The other thing I just wanted to say, I really just want to address the people that are watching online, because I have been watching the previous meetings, and there are bullies online. The people that come up here to speak, whether good and welfare, and you guys as well, we are standing up here, we are speaking our piece, we are jumping outside our comfort zone, and we are taking risks. And for those of the people that are online and they are bullying, I just want to challenge them to come to city council, speak here for your 3 minutes, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
By the way.
What is your address?
Daniel Ashbader? Sorry if I mispronounced your last name.
So, my name is Daniel Axander, president of Oceanside, but this is the second meeting I've come to. I am a member of Citizens Climate Lobby. We are a nonpartisan environmental group fighting for climate change action. And, as Long Beach's community directly in the crosshairs of climate change, this is something that the council should take very seriously. And what we're asking for is a resolution, one saying that climate change is real, caused by humans, that needs to be taken action. And our policy prescription is what we call a carbon fee and dividend, where fees are placed on the use of fossil fuels and then returned 100% back to individuals, sort of like a tax rebate check. So the first part we're asking is a resolution saying that climate change is real, and second, if deemed to be appropriated by the council, that carbon fee and dividend is the most appropriate action to remedy climate change.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, because climate change is real. I hope that we can have a continued conversation.
Thank you very much.
That's all for tonight. We're going to get home safely. Thank you very much and have a good night.